My daughter has developed a habit of tuning out at times, just when she doesn't want to, I guess. I mean, I guess it's also an emotional kind of reaction, that she literally tunes out and will not hear questions or addressing. So would you recommend the same kind of moving in to connect with her, like physically, like going towards, in order to get her attention, and I mean, similar to what you've been describing here, just as.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's the short answer is
Yeah.
yes, moving in. I don't know if you know about the idea of a special time where you, set aside 5 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you have, focused attention. Sometimes, like what comes to mind when you talk about that space is the space that Siona's in after she's watched an hour of TV, which is, more than we usually let her in our house, but because she gets into that space of not hearing us. And so sometimes it takes something like, okay, now we're gonna start special time, I'm starting the timer to pull her out of that space. Sometimes they need our help to help support them out of that space, so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrew. Good to meet you.
I have a question. So, when we're in those situations where we have, there's a lot of feelings that we have to leave an establishment that is, say, closing down, or there's a new class coming in, or whatever the case may be, and we have a lot of big feelings happening. At some point, I'm going to have to move your body, right? So that just is so challenging, but feels so yucky in so many ways, especially when you have to, I'm going to help you. I see that you're having a really hard time with the summit. They're closing. I'm gonna help you with the summit. I'm gonna help your body, right? So then somehow I managed to help her body out, and then, if we have to go somewhere, or if there's no time to resolve that, that's like a really big thing, to move somebody's body in a loving way, or in any way. Obviously, I'm trying to do it in the most loving way possible. But then, the time sometimes does not come for us to work through those big feelings. Because, my partner's not home very often, and I've got, there's sometimes just too much. So, does it work for a child at this age, for you to come to it the next day and address that particular time, or do you just come and try and do special time and hope it comes up, or do you want to refer back to the big feelings that they were having yesterday? Does that work? Is that helpful? Do they get it? How can that play out?
Yeah, you don't want to refer back to, they'll come up again. Don't you worry. Oh, don't you worry, Gretchen.
That's true.
They're not going anywhere.
Always does.
Yeah, they will come back up again. They will come back up again, and see, because I've had these times with Paolo. See if you can stay connected, right? Just like kind of by having your arm on her and moving slowly. Move slowly as you can to try to keep the connection, to try to keep her in her feelings, and get to the car. And get to the car with the baby and everyone. So that you can slowly hold on to the baby, have Nona, and stay with her, and see if you can do it as slowly as you can so that she can stay with it. And if she can't, if it doesn't work out, it'll come back up. It will.
For sure.
But the more slowly you can move with her, and see if you can just tuck away somewhere in the corner, move out to the side, so you don't have to move that far, of the building. Just sit right outside there. See what you can do. See what little places, nooks and crannies you can kind of move away, even though they're closing,
Yeah, we cover it in the car as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
As much as time will allow. We get something.
Yeah. Susan,
Yeah, I'll just add that, and by supporting her feelings and all the other ways that you're doing it, you know, you're working to kind of, to loosen that up, you know, and, you know, maybe there is a rigidity around leaving places, and, you know, and the more, you know, you do what you can do, you know, as a mom of a newborn, but the more, you know, she's able to release feelings in other ways, you know, the more you'll loosen that up and you'll find it becoming more flexible. One thing that I might suggest, you know, when, you know, Dickie is there around bedtime or whatever, like maybe have him engage in like roughhousing kind of play, you know, pillow fights and wrestling and really kind of helping her get in her body and shake some of that stuff loose. You know, so.
And again, play listening around. Pretend you're at wherever, the restaurant or whatever these little trigger places might be, and play listen with her around. But be there in your little play at home. Like, I don't want to leave. No, I won't leave. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, see if you can get some interaction and some play. Bye, Alex.
Alex.
You know, see if you can get some giggles going from her and try to work it out with this play listening. You know? That's how you can kind of reenact the situation, you know?
I have a question. You just said, you were just saying about don't refer back to whatever the situation. And I thought, I don't know, whether it was hand in hand or whatever, wherever I heard it or something, that it actually is good at another time, you know, not like to say, hey, you know, I was wondering if, you know, remember what happened yesterday and the feelings that came up, and when they're kind of not in that shutdown mode, when they can hear it. So, and I can't remember now if that was a hand-in-hand thing that I heard, but you're saying not to refer back to that.
From my knowledge, Susan, I think, I'm almost positive Patty says not to refer back to, I see you had a hard time, and what was that about? Do you think it was about Daddy being gone a lot? Like, to not,
Or not
because
necessarily
it
giving-
takes away their safety, I'm remembering. It takes away the sense of safety and trust that they have with you. So they're gonna have a harder time showing you their feelings again when you refer back. It breaks their sense of safety and trust with you. Yeah? Remember anything about that, Susan?
Not so much, but I think my sense is that I would, you know, I would follow the child's lead, you know, and if they bring it up, then sure, you know, and they're in that space of, you know, the cognitive space, and they want to talk about it and all that, then yes, but yeah, I don't see any reason. And again, maybe this is something that we can actually ask about, because
where, because I've taken a bunch of parent classes, this is pretty much like it, but it was even like a situation of explaining the same, it might have been like the peaceful parenting workshops, you know, the first year of school, and like talking about, like you just exactly what you said, you know, their brain shuts off, the logic, you can't reason with them, but then at another time, when everybody's calm, you
Right.
could talk about it at that time. So that's kind of what I'm,
Yeah, that's good.
am I maybe
We can
thinking that
ask.
wrong?
We can find out.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
get back
because
to you
I've
about
actually
that.
like tried to do that, and it goes like that.
Because you
What
want to
happened?
talk about.
Like, you don't remember what happened yesterday? That big fun. What happened? Or like, you know, it's we forgot about it.
Right.
Or else just like, or if he does remember, I'll say, you know, remember what happened yesterday? It was hard, huh? Did you have anything you want to say about it? No, I don't want to say anything about it. I don't want to talk about it. So there's, but should I not even be approaching that? I'd be interested if you find out any more info about that.
yeah, we'll follow up on it.
Yeah, that's interesting. And what was the presentation for? Setting limits?
Setting limits for young children. Yeah.
My day or Susan, do you guys have anything?
Thank you for being here. It's an honor to have you here. It really is. Our teachers.
I mean, I know you don't have any young children right now, you know, living at the home, but Susan, I know you do. Is there anything on your plate right now
Well,
that you feel comfortable asking?
yeah, I was sharing with Gretchen that it can be really hard to do this kind of work all day at school with so many children. And it is, and we're really lucky that we have so many teachers that we can be in small areas of the yard with, you know, not 30 children to myself. But then it's really hard to come home and do the same work at home after doing that work for 6 hours all day, and to stay calm and just not feel depleted, and then not feel guilty because I can't meet them the same way I met, you know, someone else's kid at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And so it really helps me just to, and you know, I've read a lot of hand-in-hand stuff, but from a teacher level really early on when I first started working at St. Mountain Place, and I'm really trying to work on having a different relationship with it as a parent to be able to do that. So it really helps just listening, being able to sit here and listen and not kind of try to think of it in the thick of it when it's happening. What did I read when it, you know, when it, so, and the stay listening, I mean, so much of it is so similar to what we do at Play Mountain, and to try to think of it in terms on the parent level. And then of course I'm at school with other people's children, so they don't trigger me in the way that I get triggered by our own kids, you know, which is a whole different thing.